Happy Friday. Um, I just wanted to hop on here real quick and share something that I've been noticing popping up, a message that I've been noticing popping up lately. It's something that I learned and continue to learn, but something that I learned, I don't know, about 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. And I told you guys on Monday, I'm very much a believer in following the messages that continually pop up over and over again, and that there's a reason why that they are continuing to pop up. So what I wanted to tell you is the message that I have been seeing lately is, I would say over the past couple of weeks, is to heed the warning of the gentle messenger. Because if you don't, there's a harsh messenger coming afterwards. And I'll give you guys a really personal story where I really started to learn this about 5 years ago. Gabe's 8, so maybe more like 6 years ago. Anyways, so when we came home from the hospital after I had him 8 years ago, um, I was sorely unprepared for motherhood, as most new moms are. And I was sorely unprepared for the mental health challenges that accompanied being a new mom. And I mean, I had heard of postpartum depression, just like everybody else has, but I was a new mom and I had never experienced it before. So I didn't really know what to expect or what to look for. And back then, I was really very much white knuckling everything and just trying to control everything to manage my own anxiety and trying to, I guess, prove to the world that everything was fine and I was okay and I didn't need anybody's help and I was strong on my own. And um so when we brought him home, I think it was the first night or the second night, middle of the night, he needed a diaper change. And my husband is amazing and he was up with me and we were changing him together in the middle of the night. And like baby boys tend to do, especially when they are newborns, he peed with the diaper off and it went all over him and all over his face. And looking back, I can tell you that what I felt in that moment was complete shame. I felt like I was unworthy of being his mother. I felt like I was a terrible mom. I felt like me allowing him to pee on himself, which obviously I wasn't allowing him to. That was a story I was telling myself back then, though. Um, was that me allowing him to pee on himself meant that I was a bad mother and that I was never going to hack it as a mom. Um, and I can just remember sitting down on, we had a mattress in the floor of the nursery at that time. And I can just remember sitting down on the mattress while my husband was standing there, um, finishing the change and taking care of the pee that was everywhere while I just sobbed on the floor because I couldn't handle life anymore at that point, and I felt like the worst mother in the world. And I should have known then. That was the gentle messenger. I should have known then that I needed help, um, because I had been dealing with mental health issues for years and years since my mom passed away when I was 14. But I was running from it and I used control, becoming a control freak, to manage it instead of actually working through the issues. So should have realized it then, should have listened to the gentle messenger. However, I did not. As I think often we do not, especially when we are trying to prove to the world that we are worthy, um, of being who we are, and that we are enough all by ourselves. So fast forward about 18 months later, um, rambunctious, very headstrong little toddler. And I can just remember this instance so clearly. Um, as toddlers often do, he was not listening to me. And I was yelling at him to stop doing something. I don't even remember what he was doing at the time. I just remember that he was not listening to me. And it triggered me so bad because remember, control. That was how I handled my anxiety, but I couldn't control him because he was a toddler. You can't control toddlers. If you're a toddler mom, you know this. But I was trying to control him and he just wouldn't listen, and it triggered me so bad that I couldn't control him, that I got so angry because that's how my anxiety would play out, is in rage. Um and I flipped his toddler table over upside down and threw his toddler chair across the room away from him, because I wasn't trying to hurt him, but I was so angry and he wasn't listening, and I internally I needed to get his attention. Um and I couldn't think of any other way to do it at that point. So I threw the chair, flipped the table. Um and it's not something I'm proud of, but I want to tell you because I know I'm not the only mom who's done something like that, and I know I'm not the only mom who's thought of doing something like that. So I want you to know that you're not alone if you're there or if you've been there. Um but I turned around and I looked at him in the eyes, and the look of terror in his eyes gutted me. And I knew then that I needed to get help. I should have known 18 months earlier. But again, I was trying to white knuckle it and prove that I could do it all on my own. But when I saw his look of terror, I knew that I couldn't do it on my own anymore, that it wasn't working, and that I was going to do some serious mental damage to him, emotional damage to him if I didn't get help. And I was not okay with that. Um, and that was the harsh messengers, the fear in my 18-month-old's eyes. He was afraid of his mommy because I was not okay and because I refused to get help until then. So, um all of this to say that if you've been seeing warning signs come up, if you don't listen to them, something worse is on the way. And you may not like what's coming next, like the fear in my son's eyes. Um, so I just encourage you to listen to the gentle messenger. It's uncomfortable, but I promise it's better than having to face the harsh messenger. So that's all I wanted to tell you tonight. And I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. And I will see you again next week. Love you guys.